Hello there ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? This video, we will be covering the most highly requested mod pack you asked me to feature. The most insane RPG mod pack available. Mineshafts and Monsters. Massive shout out to Beastylia14, the creator of the mod pack, for helping me out with the research and scripting of this video. His channel will be left in the description below for you guys to check out. Mineshafts and Monsters is a magnificent RPG styled mod pack with a heavy focus on progression through conquest and discovery. It has one main goal, defeat the Ender Dragon. Seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? Unfortunately, it's not. This mod pack completely overhauls your progression, and you will need to learn and discover the new rules of this new world by gaining the trust of your village folk, exploring new astronomical structures, founding your own colony of men, and fighting colossal beasts. I've broken down this showcase into 4 stages: early game, mid game, late game, and the end game. We'll be looking at the main mods you'll find yourself interacting with, as well as breaking down how you progress in the mod pack at each stage. Starting off at stage number 1, the early game. While you aimlessly walk, knowing nothing of this new world, alone and vulnerable, you must seek help from the villagers. Your first mission will be to gain their trust. Start by simply gathering some wood, just like you normally would. You'll notice that mining for trees is slightly different from the HT's tree chop mod, and from here, you have 2 main ways of gathering resources. The first way is to go exploring in the caves. You'll notice that the caves in this mod are beautifully decorated with exquisite detail. This is from mods like Young's Better Caves and Subterranean Wilderness, completely overhauling the way caves generate. Don't think you can just strip mine for resources though, as the stones deep below are much more tiring to mine, and you'll get pretty hungry pretty quickly. Yeah, you don't want that. The second way of gathering resources is to go exploring in some of the new and awe-inspiring structures that impose themselves on the landscape with their majesty. Just to name a couple of the mods that create these beautiful structures include shrine structures and Valhelgia structures. That said, trust me when I say that these mods only scratch the surface of what you'll find. Genuinely, more on that later. By the way, don't think you can just cheat your way through these structures and break the spawners located in some of the buildings. You won't be able to, at least not yet. Moreover, some structures can be ambushed by mobs who are all seeking to hunt you down, so be careful. Being an adventure style mod pack, building big homes does take a step back, so you're encouraged to find yourself a well-made, spawner-free, mob-free structure that you can call home. With some basic resources gathered, consider getting yourself a backpack to store your precious valuables, and then immediately look to build yourself a farm. Why? Well, now would be a good time to talk about the behind-the-scenes reputation system that has been custom built into the mod pack. Basically, villagers and passive mobs have a certain level of trust. Villagers won't trust you to begin with, but the more illagers you kill, including illagers from the Conjurer and the Hunter Illager mod, the more they do trust you, and the more things you'll be able to do with them, like trading. If you kill a villager or any of their friends, like the Satyrs or Aras, you'll destroy that reputation and be chased right out by the guards from the Guard Villagers mod. For passive animals, they'll trust you from the start, but if you sabotage their brethren by killing them, bigger guys like the elephants and gorillas from Alex's mobs will attack you on sight. Hence why you should think twice before killing that cow, and instead get yourself a farm as soon as possible. Now that we've built the trust of our lovely resident villagers and settled ourselves into the new world, let's look at stage number 2, the mid-game. By now you should have yourself a base of operations, some decent gear, and are slowly discovering new things you can do in this world, both from the villagers and through exploration. Your next end goal for this stage will be to create your own colony. But hold on, before we can do that, we need to understand more about the world that we live in. Firstly, make sure you're exploring as many different biomes as you can, as you'll come across these new Enderites as loot in their new structures. More on them later. Also, you need to find yourself some more powerful weapons and armor to avoid dying. The best is from the Dungeons gear mod, which adds all the crazy looking loot from the Minecraft Dungeons game. And while mines are important for several resources used with some of the mods, your more powerful weapons and armor will be found in these new structures. Now, you've already seen that this world is filled with dangerous mobs, but what you may have not yet discovered is that this world is also home to some seriously intimidating structures. You have mods like Dungeons mod, which adds huge monolithic structures like the castle and the mines. Not only that, but these structures will have powerful bosses just waiting to fight you, like the King or the Iron Slime. But you can't just fight these mobs like you normally would. You'll need to summon the Traveler, done like this. And he'll provide you with lore books to help you understand each boss's weakness and allow you to challenge these gargantuan beasts. Other unimaginable structures you'll find come from mods like Workshops of Doom, which adds not just a huge structure, but multiple mega bases for your arch enemies, the Illagers. Or how about When Dungeons Arise, which again, I just cannot even describe how beautiful these colossal structures look. And there's so many to explore and discover as you play. There's even a data pack included in the game called Incendium, which completely overhauls the Nether, again adding eye-watering, mammoth structures for you to explore and conquer. In fact, let's just take a moment to soak in the landscape of this new world. All these mods and more all contribute to the insane amount of incredible structures and wonderful loot that you'll come across in your game. Moving on from structures, you'll find a number of other quests and objectives that are important to your progression. An important mod in your progression is called Greek fantasy. Want to be able to explore the seas? Make sure to pay tribute to Poseidon's statue. Otherwise, Poseidon will use his wrath to bring misfortune to you whilst out at sea. How do you do this? Well, to make one, you'll need to find another lore book lost within the oceans. Good luck. How about exploring the new hellish nether landscapes? Pay tribute to Hades. Otherwise, he'll whisper into your soul and weaken you with every step. To get the Hades statue? Well, I'm sure someone will show you how to do that. Bear in mind that the Nether is not only ruled by the god of the underworld, but also has been made even more deadly by several highly aggressive mods that roam the underworld. And there are structures that have been laid with dangerous traps. You may notice that you're unable to use your fancy new weapons. Well, now would be the perfect time to create that colony, to become worthy of wielding such mighty craftsmanship. And while I won't dive too deeply into the MineColonies mod, I'll leave a link in the description for a video I made that covers the basics of the mod. Feel free to check it out. At this point, you're an established force in the new world. Now, you are on the hunt, as you set your sights on the final missing Ender Eyes, with stage number 3, the late game. The late game stage will be all about continuing your quest for power and collecting those Ender Eyes. By the late game, you'll likely have found plenty of these eyes in the structures mentioned previously, but the final few will need to be obtained through fighting a series of mini-bosses. These mini-bosses are from the Meet Your Fight mod, as well as from Greek fantasy. I will not be spoiling how to get to these monsters, as the villagers you have been trading with will have provided you with enough context to figure it out on your own. Good luck. With those eyes, you are ready to locate the end portal. But hold on, let's take a moment to explore one final mod that I believe is essential to preparing yourself for the final fight, and that mod is Eidolon. Eidolon is an extremely powerful magic mod. To gain access to the mod, check those lore books again, as you must first prove yourself worthy to the Dark Lords of the New World before they grant you their wisdom. Once you have access, hunt for some witches to find yourself a very well documented book that will show you how to progress in the mod. Your goal should be to aim for the Soul Enchanter, as this will allow you to create some ridiculously powerful enchanted weapons. Gaining access to the Soul Enchanter, however, will require you to defeat some extremely powerful mutant beasts from the Mutant Beast mod. There are also some incredible wands and other powerful weapons to discover and unlock in the mod. This mod will seriously help you out in the late game stages, and especially when it comes to the final Ender Dragon fight. Time for my favorite part of the video. Before I talk about the end game stage of the mod, I have a series of rapid fire tips I'd like to share. At the same time, I wanted to let you know that I've opened a new Discord channel for anyone interested in talking about anything Minecraft, mods, and mod pack related. Feel free to join, link will be in the description. Part of this mod pack is all about choosing your fight wisely. Some creatures will literally be too powerful for you to kill. Don't feel like you need to win every battle. Sometimes running away is your best choice. Make full use of the Waystones mod. It's just endlessly helpful for when it comes to exploring in the massive new world. There is a way to dual wield weapons in the pack. Automation takes a back step in this mod pack, but making use of the Rats mod is a great way to get some rudimentary automation set up for your basic resources. Also, check out the Straw Golem. He's adorable. Spawners do not live forever, making them impossible to take advantage of long term with the farm, so don't bother trying. Some of the more insane weapons are gated behind disgustingly powerful beasts in the mod pack. If you're feeling confident, challenge them and see what you can get. Use the advancements to your advantage. They're extremely useful to help with keeping track of your long-term progression. Use Nature's Compass to find new biomes to explore. There's a mod called Trinkets, accessed by pressing R, and while I'm only briefly mentioning this, it's an extremely useful mod for helping you out with your progression. Use it. And finally, if you killed the Alpha Insane Dog, you'll be able to intimidate illagers and scare them off. For those of you who aren't afraid of giant bugs, hunt down the Myrmix Queen. Killing her will allow you to intimidate other creepy insects. Alright, enough lollygagging. Time to face the final stage of this mod pack head on. In stage number 4, the end game. By now you should be ready to face the final boss battle, the Ender Dragon. You have your base of operations, your own running kingdom, access to powerful magic, and able to forge extremely powerful weapons and armor. You're about to find out why this is also necessary. By the way, if you're unable to find the End Crystal fragments, they spawn in the bastions. Begin your journey towards the dungeon, provided by the End Remastered mod. You'll be able to locate it by throwing one of the new eyes you found, just like you normally would with an Ender Eye. I hope you brought spares though, as the Ender Eyes no longer work. Once you enter the dungeon, start exploring, you'll eventually find a room that may look a bit like this. The main idea is that there is a series of puzzles and challenges you will need to face in order to reach the portal room. Once inside the portal room, break the spawner. You know how to break spawners by now, right? Place each eye in the frame and activate the portal with the powered core. Say your last words to the world you once knew, because this is it. This is the moment you've been preparing for. All those hours boiling down to this last fight. The Ender Dragon has been made inexplicably more powerful than ever before, with mods like progressive bosses and the Outer End mod giving him over twice his usual health. He's even capable of respawning his own crystals. There's more. Do you see the multiple variants of giant Endermen that now roam this barren wasteland? Not only that, but there are Endermites that will spawn to cause nothing but pain if you spend too long in one spot. The Ender Dragon is now also capable of launching you into the air just by being close to where you stand. And to top it all off, you have no natural health regen. That applies to the Nether as well, by the way. I hope you raw potions. This battle will be one to remember. An ungodly fight between two titans of the new world. A battle of the ages. A familiar battle that has always taken place. And once you defeat this all-powerful being, you will be met at the end with the same end screen we've all known to love and expect. The end. Or is it? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching.